Well, I'm really pleased to have joined the Commissioner of the Police Service here at the Foreign Office, the FCDO, to speak to ambassadors, high commissioners, diplomats from across the globe, talking up the reality in London, because I recognise there's a lot of misinformation, disinformation and lies out there that gives an impression that London isn't safe. There are big challenges in London. Whilst I'm the first person to say London isn't perfect, in fact we're a great city, and I would say the greatest city in the world. Changing, it means having a great coffee on the way to... Well, I was really pleased that the ambassador to the US from the UK joined the call, and the Consul General from New York as well, because we recognise that a lot of this misinformation, disinformation and lies comes from the United States of America. We also recognise that some of these algorithms on these social media platforms amplify hate. We know how clickbait works, and there is an impression given to some people in America and across the globe from some people in America that London is the greatest city in the world. And I recognise why, if you're a nativist populist, I recognise why you're a mono-ethnic populist, you may have a problem with a progressive, diverse, successful city like London. And one of my jobs is to talk about our city, but to rebut the lies and the nonsense about London. Whether it's going to a great bar, whether it's going to a great gig. And this summer, what breaks my heart is things that were on the periphery and the margins are now in the mainstream and normalised because of people like President Donald Trump. So it's really important to counter the propaganda coming from President Trump. And it's just a fact that London is just far safer than not just any major city in the United States of America, but any state in the United States of America. It is just a fact that, in fact, since records began, there has never been more Americans coming to London to study, as a tourist, to invest or to live here. So it's really important to remind people how great London is, but also to rebut the lies and the nonsense that come from America, not least from the president. Particularly if they're a nativist populist, who don't like the fact that we're a pluralistic, diverse... Now, one of the great things was, this was a frank meeting with the diplomats from across the globe. One of the things that we've got to do better is to rebut these lies that exist across the globe. So we'll be talking to colleagues in the Foreign Office, working with the police to make sure our diplomats have the facts at their disposal to rebut the concerns people have. Because people who may read a tweet from the president or other people, who may see a YouTube film or a post on TikTok from amplifiers of misinformation, may believe that and may not want to come here to study, may not want to come here on a holiday, may not want to come here to invest, may not want their children to come here. We've got to address that, because sometimes perception can be reality. We want to come an experience of what it is to be London maxed.
Okay, brilliant. So a couple of...
Well, I've been clear, only is what happened on October the 7th in Israel, a war crime. What's happened since in Gaza and indeed in West Bank is unacceptable. Innocent Palestinians have been killed by the IDF. I think it is important this government has called for a ceasefire. I called for one since October 2023. It is right. This government has recognised the state of Palestine. I think what the Israeli parliament announced yesterday was unacceptable. I'm somebody who's against capital punishment and the death penalty, and people will see this for what it is in terms of not just the double standards, but in terms of capital punishment being used in this way. Progressive, incredibly successful cities, they talk down our city.